Picture it for a moment. On one side, a 5-story wall of gleaming metal pipes, some as wide as a tree trunk, others as thin as a pencil, all housed inside a centuries-old stone cathedral where the very architecture was designed to amplify every vibration. On the other side, resting on the tip of a single human fingertip, a silicon-etched harp so impossibly small that the strings are measured in microns, and the sound it produces is completely beyond the range of human hearing. Both are real instruments. Both are engineering masterpieces, and both sit at the absolute outer edges of what human ingenuity has ever dared to attempt in the pursuit of music. The psychology of scale plays a fascinating role in how we experience sound. Human ears are biologically wired to favor mid-range frequencies, roughly between 2,000 and 5,000 hertz, because that is where human speech lives. The giant instruments we are about to explore operate far below that range, generating infrasound that you feel more than you hear, resonating in your chest cavity, your sinuses, even your eyes. The miniatures, on the other hand, vibrate so fast that they produce frequencies we cannot perceive at all without scientific instruments. And yet, they play. They resonate. They make music in a language our biology simply was not built to decode. Today, we rank them all, from the most colossal to the most impossibly tiny. Starting with the giants, ranked 5 to 1.
Coming in at number 5 among the great giants is the Atlantic City Convention Hall organ in New Jersey, United States. Completed in 1932, this instrument was born from an era of pure American ambition, when bigger was always better and no expense was too great. The Atlantic City organ contains 33,114 pipes spread across 7 manuals, which is the technical term for the keyboards a player uses, and it occupies an astonishing 4,000 square feet of internal chamber space inside the boardwalk hall. Its largest pipe stands 64 feet tall, generating frequencies so low they register at 8 hertz, well below the threshold of human hearing. Yet the vibration it creates can be physically felt throughout the entire 41,000-seat auditorium. For decades, it held the record as the world's largest musical instrument, and even today it remains a mechanical titan, though it has spent much of its existence partially silent due to the staggering cost of restoration.
At number 4, we travel to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the Wanamaker Grand Court organ, an instrument with a story as dramatic as its sound. Originally built for the 1904 Louisiana Purchase Exposition in St. Louis, this organ was purchased by department store magnate John Wanamaker and installed in his flagship store, where it has been played twice daily, 6 days a week, for over a century. The Wanamaker organ houses 28,677 pipes and weighs approximately 287 tons. It is the largest fully functioning pipe organ in the world, filling a 7-story retail atrium with music every single day of operation. The instrument required 13 railroad freight cars to transport from St. Louis to Philadelphia, and its largest pipes produce notes so deep they are described not as sound, but as atmospheric pressure changes in the surrounding air.
Number 3 takes us across the Atlantic to the Cathedral of Our Lady in Freiburg, Germany, where the Freiburg Cathedral organ reigns as one of Europe's most historically significant acoustic monuments. While more modest in pipe count than its American rivals, with approximately 7,000 pipes, what makes this instrument extraordinary is its age and acoustic integration. Parts of this organ date to the late medieval period, with the current instrument representing centuries of continuous development and refinement. The cathedral ceiling, made of vaulted Gothic stone, acts as a natural acoustic amplifier, and when the full organ sounds, the resonance time inside the nave exceeds 8 seconds. Notes blend into one another like watercolors dissolving, creating a sonic environment that no recording has ever fully captured.
At number 2, we arrive in Sydney, Australia, inside the iconic Opera House, where the grand organ holds court as the largest mechanical tracker pipe organ ever built. Completed in 1979 after a decade of construction, the Sydney Opera House grand organ contains 10,154 pipes and stands roughly 15 meters tall.
What makes this instrument the most mechanically complex in the world is its tracker action system, meaning every key press is physically connected to its corresponding pipe valve by a mechanical linkage rather than electricity. At the scale of 10,000 pipes, the engineering required to maintain that mechanical precision is staggering. The organ took so long to complete that it was not ready for the Opera House's opening ceremony in 1973, and its builder, Ronald Sharp, dedicated 26 years of his life to its creation.
And at number 1, the undisputed champion of size, the Midmer-Losh organ, also located in Atlantic City's Boardwalk Hall, which surpasses even the 1932 instrument we discussed earlier. This second behemoth, completed in 1932 as well, contains a jaw-dropping 33,114 pipes across multiple divisions, with some reports placing the total pipe count even higher when auxiliary ranks are included. Its power output is so extreme that during full operation, the organ can generate sound pressure levels capable of damaging hearing within the hall, and engineers have noted that at maximum volume, the instrument can produce sub-bass frequencies that cause visible shaking of the building's enormous glass windows. It is not just the world's largest organ. It is the loudest acoustic instrument ever constructed by human hands. Now the miniatures, ranked 5 to 1. At number 5 among the tiny wonders is the miniature pipe organ, built by craftsman Henry Lotz in Germany during the 1980s. Small enough to fit on a standard desktop, this instrument measures just 60 centimeters tall and contains 140 fully functional pipes, each handmade from hammered tin. It plays across 2 octaves and produces a genuine, recognizable pipe organ tone, though at volumes suited to a small room rather than a cathedral. It is the smallest traditionally functioning pipe organ in existence that uses authentic acoustic pipe mechanics. No electronic amplification, no shortcuts. The craftsmanship required to miniaturize every valve, seal, and wind chest to this scale took Lotz more than 4 years to complete. Number 4 is the glass harmonica, invented by Benjamin Franklin in 1761, which earns its place on this list not purely for size, but for the extreme fragility and precision of its sonic mechanism. A set of glass bowls, graduated in size, mounted on a horizontal spindle, and played by touching wet fingertips to their rotating rims, the harmonica produces ethereal, singing tones that 18th century physicians actually warned were dangerous to mental health. The instrument fell out of fashion for over a century, partly due to those fears, but it remains one of the most delicate acoustic instruments ever conceived, with each bowl ground to within fractions of a millimeter to produce its target pitch. At number 3 is the nano guitar, created by researchers at Cornell University in 1997. Carved from a single silicon crystal using electron beam lithography, this instrument measures approximately 10 micrometers in length, about the size of a single human red blood cell. Its 6 strings, each 50 nanometers wide, can be made to vibrate using atomic force microscopy, producing frequencies around 10 megahertz, millions of times higher than any sound a human ear can detect. It cannot be played in any traditional sense, but it functions as a genuine resonating instrument, a guitar in every structural meaning of the word, just operating in a dimension of sound entirely beyond our biology. Number 2 belongs to the nano harp, developed at the California Institute of Technology in the early 2000s, which pushes even further into the territory of the invisible. Etched into a silicon wafer using photolithography techniques borrowed from semiconductor manufacturing, this harp contains strings measured in hundreds of nanometers. When stimulated by laser pulses, these strings vibrate at frequencies reaching into the gigahertz range. The entire instrument is smaller than a grain of sand, and its music, if you can call it that, exists as pure physics, oscillating matter in frequencies so extreme that the concept of hearing becomes entirely irrelevant. And at number 1, the smallest functioning musical instrument ever created, the carbon nanotube resonator, developed at Cornell University and Columbia University across a series of experiments in the 2000s. Made from a single carbon nanotube, just 1 nanometer in diameter,
This instrument vibrates at frequencies in the terahertz range when stimulated by electrical current. It is not just smaller than anything the human eye can see, it is smaller than most molecules. Its vibration is detected not by any microphone or acoustic sensor, but by measuring changes in electrical resistance. It is music reduced to its purest, most fundamental physical principle, matter oscillating in time, which is all sound has ever truly been, whether it is shaking the stones of a Gothic cathedral or trembling invisibly between atoms. From 287 tons of thundering pipes to a single quivering carbon atom, the range of human musical invention is so vast it almost defies comprehension. Size and scale are the language of ambition, and whether we are building toward the sky or carving into the quantum world, the goal has always been the same: to make something resonate, to make something sing, to push the boundary of what is possible, one impossible note at a time.